Okay, so the next negative word that we're going to look at is dili, right? I chose this one because it's a lot easier to explain than the final one, which is wala. Dili, alright, dili just means no. Simply just no, okay? Um, it's not as complicated as ayaw and not as complicated as wala, which we will see in the future videos. And keep in mind though that delete does express again in the incomplete and I guess incepting aspect, okay? So what do we do with delete? How does this work? Well, first of all, it's just not, right? Not. And it's gonna negate whatever we have, right? Whatever we have, whether X is going to be a verb, adjective, noun, what have you, right? It just means not verb, not the adjective, not noun. It's the opposite of what it's going to be or do. And as I said before, incepting or incomplete actions only, okay? Only. You can't use delete to express a completed action. It doesn't make sense that way. It's the negative for something that hasn't been done yet. It's not the negative for something that has been done, okay? For that, we use wala. In English, we don't discern, we don't differentiate, we don't discriminate with actions that have not been done or have been done. But in Cebuano, we actually do, because Cebuano is a language that focuses around time. Okay, it's a focal kind of language with time, and that's why we use a lot of aspect markings and how time is relative to the speaker, okay? Or time of the day, I should say, or time when events have occurred or events have not occurred yet. It just simply means no, back here with the verb, adjective, whatever, right? But you cannot ever use delete. You can never use it with existential questions. And we will talk more about distance existence relationships in the future, right? Wala is the word you have to use to negate an existential question. So if someone were to ask, is there any of blah 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 blah, or was there any of something, if someone is asking a question that has a form of existence to it, or having, or the verb to have, if there's something there, or someone to have something, right? It's a form of existence. Then you cannot use dili if you're going to negate it. So if you're going to say there's nothing there, you have to use wala, right? Dili again is just simply no or not. And this last one right here is probably uh, the most important marker that I have to say is that dili cannot express completed or incepted actor focused conjugations. So we talked about how it expresses the incepting or incomplete actions. But when we're talking about conjugations, and I'll show you that probably the next video with more examples, we cannot use actor-focused conjugations that have been completed, and we'll show you that below. Down here we have the few examples, right, that delete can be used, and on the next video or so I will show you more examples with delete in terms of time, okay? So the first one we have is pula, bugat ba, right? And then we go there to answer it as dili. Dili pula, dili pud bugat. So dili meaning no, not red, not also heavy. So is it red? Is it also heavy? No, it's not red and it's also not heavy. Notice how it's not asking an existential question, right? It's asking if something is something or not, right? It's an equivalent. Okay, is it this or is it not? Okay. The second one we have is also whatchamacallit, it's also for nouns, negating nouns. Now keep in mind though, this may seem like an existential question, but it's not. Okay, and then I'll give you an example of an existential question like this. Si Anita ba sa kwarto? Dili. Si Nico lang. Is Anita in the room? Is it Anita that's in the room? No, it's just Nico, okay? Si Anita ba sa kwarto is this question one is, or this first person is asking Is Anita in the room, right? This person wants to know if Anita is in the room or not, right? And then Dili, the answer is Dili, no, it's just Nico. Si Nico lang, it's just Nico in the room. If you want to use this as an existential, though, you need to have an existential question. This isn't an existential question. It's just a simple yes/no question. Si Anita ba sa kwarto? Is Anita in the room? Yes, no? No, okay? If we want to make it existential, we have to have an existential verb. Naa ba si Anita sa kwarto? See, now I added an existential, naa, right? Aduna ba si Anita sa kwarto? Adunay si Anita sa kwarto? See, when you add those existential words, it becomes an existential question. And when it becomes an existential question, like up here, we cannot use dili. We have to use wala. Right, but in this case, it's just a yes/no question. And finally, for this one, we have dili as in no, right? So we learned that ayo can mean a negative imperative by saying stop. Ayaw ma, dili. Stop, mom. No, right? No, stop. No. Okay? Stop, mom. No. Okay? So those are examples that can help you out with this, okay? And then this is just to prelude us into the next video. We noticed how this is our completed and incepting aspects, right? In this side, we have the naka, the mi, the nag, all that stuff in the actor focus. But in the incepting actor focus, we have mo, mag, mi, not me, but mo, mag, maka, all that stuff. And we can use this side, the left side, for the incepting only for di, li, and wala. And I'll explain more of that in future videos. We can never use the completed or incepted actor focus markers for dili and wala, okay? Only the incepting. That's probably the real takeaway from this video, is only the incepting is we can use. And I'll show you more examples on the next video for this, okay? This is again just video 1 of introductions with dili.